Welcome to the spring edition of A Day in the Life. I am usually up between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, and I make the bed and head to the kitchen to make myself some green tea. Today is Monday, so it is one of our twice weekly laundry days. And one of the first things I do is I gather all the towels from the different bathrooms, and then I get a load of towels started. Next, I am going to spend a little time in God's Word while I drink my tea, and I'm also going to work on the weekly email that I send out. Morning, Mitch. So at 6:15, the children start getting up, and I start getting ready to go to the barn. And the children all know they're assigned chores for morning. Hey, Kendrick, are you up? Kendrick, let Phoebe locked up this morning, okay? Huh?
Yeah, we both didn't take that. No, I said mine now. I said, what did you say? You said, yeah. And then I said, yeah. But then I started.
they need better hay. And then close the gate so the other cows don't come in. Okay. There we go. Put the first squirts out of the bucket. Okay, you have your gate open. Okay, Glenn, come on. Back all the way up. Don't let me forget to set my timer when we come in so I don't forget to let these cows out. Our dogs get locked up at night, and then during the daytime we let them out and they roam free on the property. When we get back to the house, Hadassah is working on her portion of morning chores, which this morning includes sorting all the laundry, and it looks like she's got the boys busy turning their pants right side out. And I'm adding this morning's milk straight to my cheese pot, along with some other milk that has accumulated over the weekend, and we're gonna make cheese today. And now that barn chores are all done, I'm taking a minute or two to get myself ready for the day, and I wash up thoroughly and do my hair and wash my face and put moisturizer on, things like that. So since it's Hadassah's week to be doing house chores, it's also her chore to make breakfast and get it on the table. But on mornings that we have laundry responsibilities, we just eat a light breakfast with granola and yogurt, and we might offer some fruit or chocolate milk as well. Amen. Harrison and Kendra, you have to go wash your hands. No, they're dirty. Here, let's put these big plates away. There's no use to waste them. It's okay. Go get the... Max, what did you wash your hands when you came in from breakfast? Okay. Go get bowls for everyone. Did you see what the forecast was supposed to be for today? Max, are you picking them up so you can sweep? I don't believe it. So as everybody goes about their designated chores, I am cooking down some maple syrup that we started over the weekend, and also keeping an eye on my milk for cheese. So I'm gonna start packing Elvin's lunch, and in the meantime getting a couple options ready for the children to put in their lunches. The children will deliver their dad's lunch on their way to school, since they go right by his workplace. And then each child packs their own lunch. But I'm usually the one responsible for giving them ideas for what they could put in their lunch, especially the 3 younger ones. A couple loads of laundry are done and ready to hang on the line to dry, so the boys are going to start with that. The children are ready to go off to school, so we send them off with a prayer. Bye. Love you.
Love you too.
So now that the kids are off to school and our morning work is more or less done, or their part of the morning work, I'm gonna finish this maple syrup. And at the same time, I'm getting keeping my laundry going. And then when the maple syrup is all done, I'll go hang out the rest of the laundry that the children didn't get hung out. And I'm just seeing how hot my maple syrup is. It's about at 117 right now, and I wanted it closer to 119 or 120. And then I got my milk for cheese. So I got the milk for my cheese making too hot. So I'm cooling that down so that I can add my culture to it. So most times I'll wait to actually start my cheese until the children have gone to school. because that just works better. I'm more focused and I keep my eye on it a little closer. But I have somewhere I want to be at lunchtime today, and I'm gonna do my best to share that with you. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get my cheese started early, but now I'm really not any further ahead than if I would have been had I waited for them to leave before I started, because now I have to wait for it to cool down so it doesn't kill my culture. So my maple syrup is finally done, and I'm gonna strain it, and it's gonna take a while to strain because I really like to strain it like at 213 or 214 degrees, but the boys worked on it themselves this weekend and they did not strain it when it was at that point, so I'm going to have to spend a little more time straining it this morning because the syrup is thinner and goes through the straining cloth easier before it reaches that 219, 220 degrees. So my milk has cooled down to where it needs to be. So I'm gonna add my culture. So once the culture is added, then we're just gonna cover the milk and let it culture for about 40 minutes. Now that the milk for cheese is culturing and the maple syrup is straining, I'm going to catch up on drying the laundry. And you can see how I give each piece a quick shake before I hang them up. This helps them to dry softer by breaking up the fibers, and it also helps get out some of the wrinkles before I hang them up. So my milk is ready to add rennet. So we're gonna stir that rennet in real well. So now we're gonna put the lid on and set our timer for 45 minutes. We're gonna move on and do something else. And even though it's always a chore of one child to sweep the floors before school, every couple days I have to do it and make sure I get all the corners real well. And especially a Monday morning after we've all, been around the house most of the weekend, and I don't think anybody swept the floors on Saturday or Sunday. Now, while I wait on the cheese, I'm gonna sit down and finish writing that email and send it out to all the subscribers. And I will put a link in the description for you to subscribe if you're not already on the list. So my timer has gone telling me to check my cheese, and we've got a clean break. So it is ready for cutting into curds. So while I let those curds rest for a couple minutes, I am going to clean up some mess in the kitchen that was either not done by the children this morning or mess that I've already made from cooking that maple syrup. So now that my curds have rested a little bit, I'm going to start with the stirring, and I'm going to break up any curds that are still large and just going to gently stir them to help them release their whey. So today I'm making a buraques, which requires me to remove some of the whey and replace it with hot water. And then after that, it's just stirring the curds until they are firm enough. I've sanitized my cheese press, and I'm boiling my cheesecloth in hot water to sanitize it because it had a little bit of a funny smell, and I don't want to take the risk of contaminating my cheese with a cheesecloth that wasn't properly cleaned. Once my curds are firm and sticking together, I'm going to scoop them all out of the way using my cheesecloth. I'm going to put them in the press and start pressing them together. So now that my cheese making is all but done, I'm gonna have some lunch, and what I'm having for lunch is some leftover curds that were in the bottom of the pot, and I'm just gonna put some mineral salt on there, and that's gonna be my lunch. So good, so good. So I left the house, I left my cheese in the press, and where I'm going is only a mile up the road. It's one of my favorite places to find bargains. So hopefully I'm in time to bid on the item that I really want. And I don't know how much filming I'll be able to do there, number one, because I'm by myself. And number two, I don't think they would want me to film a lot. So I would do the best I can to show you what I'm after. So this is a farm machinery auction that happens a couple times a year, and it's right out our back door. Well, it looks like I'm in good company here in my truck, because the parking lot is full of trucks. And hi there, little guy. So I went to the auction, saw where they were selling, and decided that I probably have time to run to the feed mill and pick up some hog feed before they get to the item that I want to bid on. And so I also decided to come home and flip my cheese. So a quick run to the feed mill to pick up some hog feed before I head back to the auction. So I'm just sitting here waiting until they get to the item that I want.
He's just going to put them under that 47.
Okay, I got the item I was after at the auction. So now I'm gonna run home and turn a couple cranks down on my cheese press, and then it's time to head to school because I volunteer there for teaching PE class on Mondays. So on our way back from school, we will stop at the auction house and we will pay the item and pick it up. So I left school a few minutes before the kids, so I have time to come home and get their snack ready. I decided, by the way, some of them were acting at PE class, that they probably need a snack before we head back to the auction house to pick up our item. So Mitchell's had his snack and is unloading all the pig feed so that we can go to the auction house and pick up the item that we purchased. So we are back at the sale yard. We're gonna pick up the item that we bought.
I wanna help you. Well, I have it too bad.
Harrison, let Kendrick have a turn. Harrison? Okay, you gotta help Hadassah put it in the back.
And heel. I'll get on here. Got it? Oh.
Now take it to the garden.
Let's go. Hurry.
Okay, Mitchell, let's go bring laundry in. Is it harder than you thought? Don't push it down so hard. There you go. Don't push it down so hard. So I've been looking for a walk-behind cultivator like this for quite some time now. It is like the one that I used in my grandparents' garden when I was growing up. And what I wanted was an all-over steel one. I didn't want one with wooden handles because oftentimes the wooden handles are already rotted out. And this one I won today at the auction for $25, which is much cheaper than what I've been seeing them go for on Facebook. Okay, boys, listen to me. Look right here. Right here's my garlic. You can't dig that out, okay? You stay away from where the garlic's growing. But anywhere else you can do it because nothing's planted anywhere else.
Wait, you still have your garlic planted in the winter?
Yeah, garlic can grow all winter. All right, Harrison, let's see what you got.
Gotta get the weed out.
Oh, the raspberry, you're stuck on a raspberry branch? There you go.
And we can't plow through the raspberries.
All right.
Let's go.
Mitchell is bringing all the laundry in so we can fold it. Come to do laundry, Maxwell. All right, so we're gonna get supper started. I have some ham left over from the other night, so I'm gonna make some ham and bean soup. First, I've got to cook my beans. So I'm starting with about a pound of dried pinto beans. And we're gonna rinse them and we're gonna put them in the Instapot. Go.
Can you make a sandwich turn into like individual beans?
Hey, Kendrick. Come on, get your dishes done. You all right? Make sure you wipe those big kettles.
She said that she had 3 TVs and 3 phones.
So Hadassah and Mitchell are folding, Hadassah and Maxwell are folding all the laundry. And
We had 3.
Harrison is peeling potatoes for our soup. Kendrick is
Wait, potato soup?
putting clean dishes away. Is that what you're doing?
Mom,
What?
you know when you told Mitchell to, and then you can pardon, and then you come. I got 3 done and 3 more to go. You know when
So there I've got some veggies going. I'm gonna cook them all in our ham broth.
Are you taking a shower down there?
Just a big layer of fat in there.
Don't say moo hoo ha ha again.
Okay, I've got my veggies in the broth and I'm just gonna add some salt and plenty of black pepper. And I really like to add a fresh onion too, but I don't currently have fresh onions, so I'm just gonna add some dried onion from last year's garden. And we're gonna cook this until the veggies are soft. And then we're gonna add our carrots. And these are already soft because they're canned, so we're not gonna add these until after. So I'm gonna cut up this ham into real fine pieces. And this was left over from dinner the other night. So my veggies are soft. So I'm gonna add carrots. And I'm gonna add that ham that I chopped up. And then when the beans are done, we will add the beans. And I've got my ham bone in there too to add flavor. Now we're just gonna simmer this until supper time. Mitchell is taking the way from cheese making out to Poppy and her piglets as an afternoon snack for them.
Probably, I don't know. Mom, guess how you make potatoes? You just slice potatoes in half, like in pieces, and drop them in rows.
That's right. That's how you plant potatoes.
I learned that.
Do you remember helping last year?
Yeah. I knew that.
It's gotten so overcast today. It's hard to film outside when it's so overcast. But the big boys are gathering the last of the sap and taking the taps out of the trees. The bags were so full and running over. That's also the kids' climbing tree. You can see because of the ladder. So we are here at our neighbor's property getting our last collection of sap and taking the taps out, since I'm pretty sure the trees are going to start budding this week. Do you need Mom to help you? Oh, you splashed. You want Mom to help you?
Should I just...
Did all your taps come out?
Yeah. No, Mitchell, I get to do it. Mitchell,
Okay, well then hurry up.
faster shots. Don't do that. Mitchell.
right, last of the sap for the year. So the beans are all done. And we are gonna add them to our soup that has been simmering. My favorite beans for ham and bean soup are the Great Northern or the white beans, but I didn't have any of those, so the pinto beans will do.
Ready, Michael?
So Hadassah set the table while we were gathering sap, and Elvin's home. Now it's just to gather everybody and then we can eat.
Wait, this minute.
So while the children clean up and do dishes from supper, I am going to put last week's cheese into vacuum sealed bags and into the cheese cave.
There we go. Is it not unlocked? Oh.
So chores are done for the day. The little boys are playing outside, and the big boys are helping Alvin fix a water hydrant in the barn. Hadassah has settled in with her book, and I'm going to work on some more writing projects. Bedtime stories for the boys come next. And since we had a real busy weekend and it's Monday night, I'm trying to be pretty strict with their bedtime tonight to help them catch up on sleep that they lost over the weekend. And at the very end of the day, we have our AI tech stop by to artificially inseminate our milk cow. And hopefully this will be the time that she gets pregnant and has a calf so that we can continue to milk her. So back in the house, and I remember that it's time to get my cheese out of the press and put it into a bucket of salt brine water. And we're going to call it a good day and watch some championship basketball with our older children.